And the $20 million gift in and of itself is a huge number, but the gift is actually part of a launch of a campaign that we're calling the Lasting Legacy of Excellence campaign. And what goes into that and what that means for us, there's obviously a lot behind the legacy of Penn Wrestling. I can't express enough gratitude for Dave Pottruck and his philanthropic nature, his generosity in supporting our program. We're just so lucky to have somebody like Dave in our corner supporting Penn Wrestling. The facility that we will be in on both the east and west side will have like 30-foot arch windows running down both sides of the entire length of the wrestling room. East side, it'll overlook our football stadium, Franklin Field, and on the west side, it'll overlook campus. So we'll have more natural light than probably any place you could imagine, short of like having glass walls everywhere. Dagestanis, I've been over to Chechnya, I've trained in Chechnya. Those facilities are not exactly first class. Those guys are really freaking good. The facility doesn't make us good. That's what I keep hammering, right? We get good because of the work we put in and how we build ourselves up, and if we do it the right way. I want 100% of my guys graduating with a plan, knowing what they're doing, knowing what's next. If it's wrestling post-college, great, let's figure it out. If it's going to make money and go crush it in your career, okay, let's go get set up for that too. Something really, really special is getting built here right now and is being built from within, which is awesome.
And welcome back to Wrestling Mindset. Today we have a repeat guest, my former teammate, and the head coach of the University of Pennsylvania Wrestling, Matt Valenti. Matt, thanks for joining us.
Hey, again, thanks for having me on. Always great to see you. And again, yes, agreed.
Absolutely. So big news this week. I thought this would be a great time to have you on. $20 million donation to Penn Wrestling. Dave Pottruck has been unbelievable. Talk about this.
The quote I think I put out there was about this being a stake in the ground moment for Penn. But before I talk too much about it, like I can't express enough gratitude for Dave Pottruck and his philanthropic nature, his generosity in supporting our program. We're just so lucky to have somebody like Dave in our corner supporting Penn Wrestling, and not just Penn Wrestling, but Penn Athletics. He understands and appreciates who we are and how we do what we do. And this is a huge gift in not just dollar figure, but in impact and what it means for us. So it's really exciting times down here. We've been buzzing down here for a while, knowing this was coming, but super pumped that it's now public and everybody gets to see that Penn Wrestling isn't going anywhere anytime soon, and we're not backing down anytime soon either.
That's right. And I think about it. I mean, even back when we were wrestling, I mean, I'm thinking when we graduated 2007. Pottruck, the student's gym was Pottruck. So this is a man who's been giving for a long time now. He's been helping out. You see him over at the Keystone Classic, different events. I mean, God bless him. He's done so much for the team and for the school, for the program.
Oh, absolutely. And, Dave is such a humble person in general. And prime example of that, like the best anecdote I could even share is, it kind of almost gets slipped into that announcement, but he was adamant that the facility had to be named the Pottruck Reina wrestling facility, right? Because he did not want just his name on that facility. And he wanted to honor and respect Coach Reina for all he's done to build up this program through all of his time leading Penn Wrestling. And I just think that speaks to Dave and how he approaches what he does. And is also just a great example of kind of how we expect to carry ourselves here at Penn Wrestling and how our team, whether they're a freshman who first day on campus or, an alum who's been out for 50 years, right? We want everybody to carry themselves the same way.
Absolutely. And I mean, former CEO of Schwab's, this guy's a really big deal, but none of this. I mean, you see him at the different events. He's got his hat on. He'll have jeans on. He's flying under the radar. I've seen him in the wrestling room, showing kids moves this past year at the Keystone, but he's not looking for airs or for any kind of show. So yeah, just unbelievable.
It is. And his passion is unmatched, but his approach to it is just quiet. It's just quiet. It's meaningful. It's genuine. It's authentic, and it's just so awesome. And I can't say enough good things about Dave and Roger and what they've done to put us in a position that we're in today, that we get to sit here and talk about this insane gift that is arguably one of the largest, if not the largest, single gift to a wrestling program in the history of the sport.
Yeah, unbelievable. I know, speaking to a lot of the other alum, our teammates, and people who've come before us or after us, they're all extremely appreciative to, of course, Dave Pottruck, Roger Reina, you. So it's awesome that the Penn ecosystem, right?
Yeah.
So it's phenomenal. Now, so okay, huge gift, but now
Mhm.
money could go pretty quick, right? So
Yeah.
how do you now? First of all, I guess how do you envision all of this, and where do you? I mean, not exactly like how you allocate it, but what are your thoughts when you have this? It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So obviously it's a huge number. And the $20 million gift in and of itself is a huge number, but the gift is actually part of a launch of a campaign that we're calling the Lasting Legacy of Excellence campaign. And what goes into that and what that means for us, is that, there's obviously a lot behind the legacy of Penn Wrestling. Um, the wrestling facility that we're going to build is in Waitman Gymnasium. Waitman Gymnasium is actually the location of the first ever college wrestling tournament in 1905, right? So you talk
Wow.
about legacy, like the first ever, before the NCAA even existed, college wrestling tournament was hosted in the gym that's going to become our practice room,
Right.
right? Which is a really cool historical connection and talks, like, I think speaks to the the um, the legacy, the history, the standing of Penn in the broader context of wrestling on a national level. But the facility is just a piece of this campaign that we're launching here, right? This campaign actually has three different prongs. The one that obviously is the probably biggest and sexiest of the three is the facility, right? And the facility costs 25.1 million. So technically we have some work to do to get to that 25.1 number. And then we're actually adding another 9 million on top of that. And that 9 million is specifically going to be focused on endowment and operational endowment for our program. So essentially, we would be looking to grow our endowment for the Penn Wrestling program on a significant level. And what that really does, and we talk about this lasting legacy of excellence, this is the lasting part of the legacy of excellence, right? Endowment is what sets you up in perpetuity, right? The endowment income from that 9 million spins off and helps cover our costs that we spend annually for Penn Wrestling. We're already in a position where we cover 100%. We're probably one of 3 or 4 college wrestling programs in the country that actually cover all of their costs, right? Even some of our big name peers, like they're actually major losers financially, right? In the big picture, right? We cover 100%. And in this crazy world of the NCAA, of everything that's going on,
Yeah.
right? What does that mean for us? Like I get to walk in our AD's office and my administrator's office, and we start talking about our budget, and she's like, "Well, how are you going to fund?" Never mind, you're fine. Just go win. Tell me what you need, right? And like in this day and age, that's a nice thing to have. And as a new coach coming in, you can't talk about anything better than that, right? So we've got those two big pieces of the campaign, and then the third piece, we still fundraise annually for our program. And one of our goals with that is not a specific dollar figure necessarily, but our goal is to get at least half of our annual fund filled on multi-year pledges, right? So people who are already giving to our annual fund, committing to 5 year pledges. So we know on an annual basis how much money we need to fundraise, right? So we talk about head coaches these days and the roles that they have. We have to wear a lot of hats. One of them is the fundraising hat. And, this just helps set us up for the future. And for me personally, lasting legacy of excellence, well, when my day comes and I'm the one who gets to retire from this job at some point in the future, hopefully distant future, um, my goal is to leave this program way better off in every way possible than how I found it when I walked in last year.
Absolutely. And you're the guy to do it. So talk about how that
Appreciate
has
that.
absolutely. Talk about now how that also is going to impact the Pennsylvania Regional Training Center, because I mean,
Mhm.
that's, where recruits and the PRTC, I guess, talk about both.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously the facility, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be one of the nicest facilities in the country. Everybody likes to talk about, well, I hope it has natural light. Well, we probably have more natural light than any wrestling program in like the history of the sport.
Really?
Uh, the facility that we will be in on both the east and west side will have like 30-foot arch windows running down both sides of the entire length of the wrestling room, right?
Wow.
And on the east side, it'll overlook our football stadium, Franklin Field, and on the west side, it'll overlook campus. So we'll have more natural light than probably any place you could imagine, short of like having glass walls everywhere. So that'll be awesome. We're excited about that. That's obviously a selling point. At the same time, I told my team this when we shared this announcement with them. It's a beautiful facility. It's going to be one of the best in the country. It doesn't mean that we're automatically one of the best in the country. It actually means we got to work harder, right, to maintain our level of excellence that matches that facility. So, is it a recruiting tool? Does it help? Sure, absolutely. It's going to be a huge piece of it. And our guys can't wait to get in there. I mean, even just the space, we're going to have three full circles of 40 by 40 mats in there, plus 2/3 of a mat and an additional chunk of a section as well, right? So it's a massive increase in space for us. And locker rooms, showers, a lounge and fueling station and recovery area will be awesome as well, right? Those definitely are assets that are not going to hurt us. They definitely will help us stay in conversations with some of the top guys in the country. And then from an RTC perspective, we are quietly continuing to grow down here. Been chuckling. Obviously, there's a lot of scuttle out there about the Pennsylvania RTC is disbanding and disappearing and imploding and blah, blah, blah. And I will say right now it matches a little bit more of how we're approaching what we do. We just keep our nose to the ground, head down, work hard, and build.
The time is now to take your mindset to the next level with Wrestling Mindset. Make sure you go to our website, wrestlingmindset.com, and sign up for your free trial session today. Don't wait any longer. You want the mental edge right now. When you sign up for the free trial session, you're also going to get a copy of our free ebook, Building the Predator Mindset. This book has helped thousands of people build confidence, relax under pressure, get motivated, and build mental toughness in wrestling, school, and life. Make sure you sign up for your free trial session.
We are about to sign our 4th athlete. I had 7 senior guys in the room training this morning. We probably have more senior athletes than any other RTC in the country at this point. We just don't really feel like making a big deal out of it, right? In the last Olympiad, we had some awesome guys, right? We had headliners, we had big names. They were awesome. They really helped build the brand of the PRTC in a major way. And as happens in Olympic cycles, guys retire, guys moved on with their careers, they moved to different training situations, all different things happen. Pretty natural in this senior world, right? But we're kind of shifting what we do a little bit, right? We're focused a little bit more on finding guys who we think have a bright future ahead of them, that we feel like can find themselves in the mix with the best in the world. And then obviously, you got a guy like Darian Cruz who's representing the PRTC now.
I was just gonna say, yeah, doing well.
Yeah, and we're going to have 4 guys wrestling at the World Championships, Senior World Championships, right, out of the PRTC. So okay, yeah, we imploded, but we quietly have 4 guys wrestling in Senior Worlds in Croatia in a couple weeks.
And Jordan Burroughs is there.
Yeah, Jordan is he's still around, right? Jordan, I think, is trying to figure out exactly what's next for him. But we're willing, ready, and able to help Jordan and support him however he needs as well. So and from an RTC perspective, this campaign, I mean, the facility will impact that for sure, right? Baseline, we can get 3 freestyle matches going at once, right? Because we have 3 circles, and we have enough senior guys that we can make that happen. Plus, we're really committed to helping our undergrads, right? The age level guys, the U20, U23 guys, find success in their age level competitions that they're in. We've had 2 guys on U23 world teams in the last 3 years. We had 2 guys competing in U20 World Team Trials this year. Our expectation is we continue to fuel and feed that. The RTC is actually sending a small group of guys to Japan next Wednesday to go train in Japan with the Japanese national team, right? So
Nice.
Exploring different avenues, and the goal is to get those guys come train with us too, right? And so all of those things will feed into this campaign that we're working on right now. And you mentioned the ecosystem, right? It's going to help us continue to grow this ecosystem, continue to help us get stronger.
And how do we keep these guys humble when they don't get too Hollywood with all the nice new accommodations? I guess a part of it is you see that Hall of Fame that's going to be posted up there, and they see their coach over there, and it's like, hey, we did this back when we were in the slums, the shacks.
Yeah. You know what? That's probably, I hadn't thought about that one as an example, but that might be one we have to lean on, right? All of our history up until moving in there has occurred in a facility that is nice, but far from the best, right? And I tell the guys this all the time, right? The best wrestlers in the world right now are not in the nicest facilities in the world. Right. The Cubans train on dirt floors, right? They train in what we would consider by our standards terrible conditions, right? The Dagestanis, I've been over to Chechnya. I've trained in Chechnya. Those facilities are not exactly first class. Those guys are really freaking good, right? So the facility doesn't make us good. That's what I keep
Of
hammering,
course,
right?
of
We
course.
get good because of the work we put in and how we build ourselves up, and if we do it the right way. And I like to think of it as it's more space to get sweaty. That's what
Yep.
it is. And we just got to get sweat over every inch of it. That's what we got to do.
That's right. Absolutely. Now talk about the goals, your goals for the team. I mean, of course, we all want to win. We want to be the very best. We want to be at the top. What's the plan or like the stages of where you'd like to
Yeah.
see the team?
So I'll start by saying I'm probably one of the luckiest head coaches in the country because I'm taking over a program that is in an incredible spot, right? Most of the time when you're taking over a program as a head coach coming in, it's likely because something went wrong, right? There's a cultural issue. A coach got resigned at some point because they just weren't carrying things the right way. There was some kind of issue, or they just were massively underperforming, right? If you look at Penn's trajectory of where we've been over the last few years and what Coach Reyna has really built up, it culminated this past season where we finished 16th at the NCAA tournament. However, we're nerds down here, so we look at the math, and we had 4 guys in the round of 12. Obviously, CJ broke through, got through, finished fourth to the NCAAs. But if 2 of our other guys who were in the round of 12 got through, we're already pushing top 10. And if they win another match or 2, we're probably pushing top 5 in the country, right?
There.
That's what I'm walking into as a head coach, a program that's on that trajectory right now. So the goals that I get to set and that I get to think about, one, I don't get to do them myself because the team has already started to set those standards themselves. And so for me, it's a collaborative effort with the team of understanding what they want to achieve and then pushing them a little bit further, right? And I think where we're going to land in terms of goals is we want to be top 10 in the country as a team consistently, not just flash in the pan, consistently. And I think I know our guys are starting to understand and believe that if you are in that position in any given tournament, any given year, you have the opportunity to break through to top 5 or to break through into a trophy, right? And that is really what we're kind of eyeing up as a program. And at the same time, not letting the standard drop on the other side either, right? We're really focused on the academic side. We had the 9th highest GPA in the country this year, right? We want to improve. We want to be better there, right? We had 8 academic All-Americans this year. We want to be better. We want to do more. And on the life side, like I want 100% of my guys graduating with a plan, knowing what they're doing, knowing what's next. If it's wrestling post-college, great.
Mindset Monday is brought to you by our official sponsors, Eat Clean, bro. Make sure you order today, get them delivered right to your house, check them out, and make sure you put in your discount code MINDSET.
Let's figure it out. If it's going to make money and go crush it in your career, okay, let's go get set up for that too, right? So we're continuing to kind of key in on exactly what those goals will look like. But the standards are going to continue to be really high, and the expectations of our team from within are very high as well.
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable. We have to give a shout to Wharton School of Business, number one. And I mean, big thing for me going to Penn, wanting to go into psychology at the time. The number 3 undergraduate psychology program. I think the first American Psychology Association meeting was right there at Houston Hall, if I have it correct. But so just the history, but the great academics. That's big. And I think a lot of people really need to, when they're considering these different Ivy League schools, thinking about what Penn really brings to the table.
And quite frankly, and it's not just my bias, although there is some of it, it brings a lot to the table, right? I think our lowest ranked school at Penn is like 14th in the world. And we're like, oh gosh, they got to pick it up. Well, 14th in the world actually isn't too shabby, right? Like our schools are awesome and they're awesome opportunities. And at the same time, I tell my guys this all the time. It's also what you make of it. The opportunity is only what you make of it. The rankings are the rankings. It is just paper. It's some random person, people, whatever, deciding those are the rankings. It's what you do with it at the end of the day that's going to determine what you do long term.
Right. Yeah, make a good snippet for Instagram. Talk about the Rocky Steps right there. I mean, University of Pennsylvania, top tier program. You got the Rocky Steps, like what, a mile and a half from there. We used to run there. I saw a video of or pictures you guys run there. Talk about that. That'd be a good clip.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, when you think about Philadelphia, obviously Penn's right in the center of it, but Philadelphia has its own legacy and history as well, and there are a lot of cool things that resonate within the wrestling community too, right? Yeah, we're the home of Rocky, and we're a very blue collar town in general, and that Rocky mentality, like that's who we are as a city. And yes, we're an Ivy League school, and yes, we get all the, snarkiness that people give us about what comes with being an Ivy League school. We also take pride in like we embrace the Philadelphia grittiness of being blue collar, right? Blue collar Ivy is a relative term, but yeah, we'll get our guys out to those Rocky steps, and we'll make Rocky look like he doesn't even work hard. That's how we approach it. We get to the top and see how many guys we can get to throw up at the top, right? But we get after it, and we embrace that kind of the grittiness that comes with the city of Philadelphia.
Yeah, I mean, you think about Rocky, you think about Independence Hall and all the history as the country, and you think about that, coming to Penn and thinking about, that American dream. And it's
Mhm.
the American dream, not just about the success and the money, but really the big picture, right? The being
Mhm.
the best citizens, the best husbands, the best fathers, whatever career anyone goes on to. So I look at that all encompassing. And for me, that's what Penn always symbolized, even before going there and being there, thinking that no, this is to set you up to be the total package across the board. And I always felt like the RTC and the school was emphasizing that.
Hmm. Absolutely. And one of the things we talk about, we talk about this on our official visit, and Coach Trina, I give him a world of credit for bringing this up. But obviously Philly with its history of kind of who we are, going all the way back, this is where our founding fathers signed the Declaration, right? What the punishment was for signing the Declaration of Independence. It was treason was the charge. You know what the punishment for treason was? Death,
Capital punishment.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're a city where somebody said, you know what? This is bigger than that. This is bigger than me, right? I'm willing to give up my life for this freedom, right? And that type of courage is something that we look at and we try to remind ourselves of that, you want to do something big, you have to have that courage behind what you're doing. And you can look no further than 10 blocks down the street, right? Where Independence Hall is, where those founding fathers sat around a table and said, well, I'm literally signing my life away because if they get me, I'm done.
The original Broad Street bad boys, you might call them.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so.
and and also again, sports fans, you got the Philly complex that has all the four sports: baseball, football, hockey, and basketball. The one we forget a lot, but yeah, so it's right there, and it's all in one complex. Again,
Hmm.
that's a unique situation. You don't see that in New York, Boston. Things are spread out a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, we use that to our advantage. Obviously, we're super fortunate that the owner of the Sixers, Josh Harris, is also a Penn Wrestling alum. He's super supportive of our program and also of us when we want to go down to Sixers games. We want to be down in that area, right? Our guys will go down to Phillies games in the summer. I will admit I'm a New York sports fan, so I don't buy into the Philly stuff too much. But I appreciate that the ease of access to go watch New York teams beat up on the Philly teams. It's not too hard for me to do. Um, but yeah, it's as somebody who came from the country and came to the University of Pennsylvania for schooling, it probably was a weird look for me to be like country boy, farm boy, Kittatinny blue tights over to, University of Pennsylvania in the middle of the city of Philadelphia, not right in the heart, but in the city, urban setting. Um, and yet at the same time, I graduated a little while ago now, and I've never left the city. I went to New York for 2 years and came back, and I've been in the city of Philadelphia ever since. And part of what I love about this city is you have everything you need right here, right? Anything you want to experience, you can go experience it. And if you just want to stay in your bubble, you can stay in that bubble too. But you want to grow as a person, this is an opportunity and a place where you can really do that.
Yeah, and I feel like also pretty centrally located in the Northeast,
Hmm.
right? I mean, basically between Boston, DC, and then out in Pittsburgh, it's like it's all like what if you had to make a map, it's like I mean, really Penn is right in the heart of all that.
Yeah, and from a wrestling perspective, like if we didn't want to leave the East Coast and just wanted to wrestle our competition and entire schedule on the East Coast, we could do that.
Be just
We can
fine.
do that. Right? We like to branch out. We like to, get across the country. We were fortunate. We had the opportunity to do that. Um, we don't have to. We do it because we want to, right? We'll go out to Northern Colorado and wrestle out in Greeley this year, right? We'll go to California next year, go compete out in California next year, right? We'll get different experiences because we are capable, which is awesome. We don't have to. That's just like that's a nice to have. It's not a need to.
Right. From now until Fargo, our partners, Champion Athlete Wrestler Nutrition, the premier weight management program for wrestlers, will be offering a special Fargo nutrition program for only $350. That's $160 saving. Visit their website, champion-athletes.com, or call 800-324-1447 today. You know what I didn't ask? When is the facility going to be complete? I forgot to even bring that up.
So the current timeline has us opening the doors in the spring of 2028.
Not bad.
Personally, yeah, not bad. Personally, I take that as a challenge. So we're gonna see if we can make that happen faster. But yeah, I think it's a fair timeline. I think, in terms of what we're gonna do up in that space, I'm cautiously optimistic. We'll stick to that or beat that move-in date.
How's the buzz there? Guys have to be pumped. The coaching staff, the administrators, the athletes, they got to be pumped.
I think we're still kind of in a little bit of like a surreal state of being right now, where it actually just doesn't feel real yet, right? Like, we've seen the space, we've been in the weeds of trying to figure out how this is all going to work. I will share there's a couple other big announcements coming in the next few weeks as well, so we kind of have this cadence of big things that are going to happen. And it's exciting, and I think the vibe around here is just really positive in general. And at the same time, I appreciate our guys. Like, this is going to be awesome, but also we're excited about how good we're getting. Like, we're excited about where we're going as a program, between the facility, between our growth and kind of development on the mats and off the mats. I just think we're in a good spot as a program. We feel really good about what the future looks like here, and that, we've been joking, and we're going to start running with a new tagline here before long, but like, something really, really special is getting built here right now, and is being built from within, which is awesome.
Yeah, I could tell you that the hyper local buzz up here in Bergen County. We have a few former teammates that are like within 10-mile radius of each other, between Leor and Dwyer and Xander and this whole week it's been buzzing. The text chain going. Everyone's pumped up. So that's great. That's really great to see.
I appreciate it. Well, tell them all I'm coming for them at some point to help with the facility. So heads up, guys. Here I come. But no, it is awesome. And, none of this happens without the guys who have been through those programs too, right? And, I'm so appreciative of Dave Patrick, but at the same time, there's a lot of alumni who support this program year in, year out, and we wouldn't even be in this position. We may not have even had this opportunity to go get this facility without the support of our alumni and the donors and the boosters behind this program, right? Hey, Wrestling Mindset just stepped up to sponsor the Keystone Classic for the RTC this year. Like, thank you guys so much for that, right? And the people who are willing to help this program, however they can help our program, sometimes gets lost in the shuffle, but it's not lost on us. Of those that came before us here have really set us up to be in the position we're in right now, to have this opportunity that's ahead of us.
Right, like you said, the alum, the donors. We're talking about people who've been giving since well before even we were there. These names that we're seeing now that were happening. Then we were back in 05, 07, and then they're going back even further. So yeah, just tremendous. Yeah, thank you to all you do, and to all the donors, and all, Patrick, Raina, all the guys, everyone who's helped. So it's a really big deal. Anything else that you wanted to talk about? Anything coming up that you're particularly excited about, or anything we didn't cover?
Yeah, I'm just trying to wrap my head around, the season's right around the corner. And we were just talking to our team about that this morning. We're about to give them a little time off and tell them to come back ready to work, ready to go, because that season's coming up fast. I'll just say, keep an eye out on our social media accounts and on the Penn Athletics website. There'll be some more stuff coming in the next few weeks that we're really excited about. And more than anything, I'll just say, we within Penn Wrestling are really excited about the future. We hope that everyone else out there can start to feel that as well. We got some big things ahead, and more than anything, we have some amazing people around us who are willing to embrace that and lean into it and do something special.
Absolutely. Thanks, Matt. Thanks for all you do. And yeah, us Wrestling Mindset, we couldn't be more excited. So keep up the great work. And if there's ever any way we could help, just let us know. All
Appreciate
right.
that, Gene. Appreciate all you guys do for us too.
Absolutely. Take care.